Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to today's episode. Today, I'm so thrilled to be interviewing Edward Munoz, who is one of the most talented people I have ever met and one of the kindest people I've ever met. I would say this interview is one of the most inspirational interviews I've ever heard. I think there's a lot of interviews that are like, well, I bought a bag of balloons and I kind of started doing this on the side and then it took off. And that is not Edward's story. He talks about doing balloons in Venezuela and coming to the US and how hard it was to get work and how he made very strategic choices and decisions in competing at different conventions and needing a full-time job. And he's incredible. He's amazing. So I'm so thankful that Edward came on and shared his story. He is so talented and so generous in his information that he gives. If you want to see Edward's work or learn from him, the best place to do that is on Instagram. And we will link that in the show notes. But he is just beyond talented. It's incredible. So I know you'll enjoy this interview. Everyone has something to learn from him. And thank you so much, Edward, for taking the time to chat with us. Let's take a quick break and head over to the UGlu Hotline and then get into this awesome interview with my friend Edward. Welcome to the UGlu Hotline, where we discuss great advice that sticks. Brought to you by Pro Tapes. If you have a question or some great advice to share, click the link in the show notes to call in and leave a voicemail.
Hi, my name's Ashley. My company is Dallas Balloon Bar in Texas, and I have a question about UGlu strips, the best way to remove them. I've always just used the strip and sort of like stuck it onto the other to pull the residue off, but I'm wondering if you have any tips for the best way to remove those, especially when it's hot out and they get super sticky and they're hard to remove. Thank you.
Hey, Ashley, good question. I have learned from other people calling in that they use hair dryers to make the UGlu Dashes or strips like a little gummier before they remove them. However, I have never removed a UGlu Dash from something other than like a floor or something accidental because I don't stick them to anything except for other balloons. So I'm just disposing of them after. I'm never actually removing them. So I'm probably overly cautious when it comes to sticking to surfaces, but I never stick to walls. I never stick to brick. I never use adhesive on someone else's property because I don't want to cause damage. So I am only using UGlu Dashes to stick balloons to balloons. And that's why I'm not the best resource on how to get them off of things. But other people calling in have said using another UGlu Dash to kind of stick to it and give it a little tug, or using some sort of heat, like to warm it up so it's a little gooier, and that makes it easier to peel off. But I swear by bringing framework or tying to things with 260s, I really, really avoid trying to stick directly to a surface because you never want to cause any damage, especially if you're not the person properly removing something. I could see a venue coordinator or someone throwing the party just ripping something off a wall and causing damage that wasn't intended. So I really, really avoid sticking to surfaces. Thanks for calling in. Pro Tapes is a leading manufacturer of specialty tape products like Pro Gaff, Pro Artist Tape, and our favorite balloon tape, UGlu, which helps you create amazing balloon arrangements and decorations in less time. You can save 5% on UGlu when you buy directly from Havin A Party using code BRIGHT at checkout. All right, welcome to this episode, Edward, the legend. I am so excited to have you on. Welcome.
No, I'm excited to be here. When you sent me the email, I was kind of scared because I was like, okay, I normally talk to people like in English, but I never have like interview by Sarah Meyer. I mean, that's a big deal. And I've been, listen a lot, like, oh, Sarah invite me to the podcast. And I was like, please, I don't want you to invite me. No, for nothing wrong. It's because what happens if I don't understand what she's talking to me?
Well, it's edited. So if that happens, we can
That
just
is amazing.
we can cut it out.
I normally, maybe I'm the only one, but when English is your second language,
Yeah,
it's easier when you talk to people like face to face because
sure.
you kind of like, oh, but you know what? I love you, Sarah. I'm glad you invite me. I'm
I
happy
will
to be
try to
here.
talk slow. I am
No,
notorious
it's
for
fine. It's
speed
completely
talking.
fine. If I
Well,
don't understand something, I'm sorry, everybody. I will be like, can you repeat the questions?
love it. Love it. All right. Well, I know a little bit about you because we sat next to each other when we were in New York doing the
Mhm.
confetti, and you told me just a snippet of your life story, and it was like fascinating. It was this epic saga. You obviously are not from the US. So can you just rewind and
Yeah.
tell us? Normally, I have people tell us about their business, but your story starts longer
Yes,
ago than that. So start from the
it's
beginning.
a little bit like opposite. I was
Mm-hmm.
in Venezuela. I came from Venezuela, and I've been working with balloons 19 years. Means I thought like, oh, it's super fun. On the beginning, when I started, I pay my college doing balloons. Like
Wow.
me, I work balloons, and I stopped. Normally parents just cover some expenses on the beginning the college, but in my case, I stopped my mom and I was, I don't need your money anymore. I was doing great doing balloons in
Okay.
Venezuela until 2013, I think was when everybody starts see like, oh, we don't have money. We don't have money to bring balloons from outside. But I came for first time to 2010. I came to US
Okay.
to the World Balloon Convention. Um, and I started working with balloons because my aunt, she can't get pregnant. And she was like, Edward, can you do some balloons? And yes, I would do it. To be honest, everybody would be surprised. That was a disaster. I
Oh
mean,
no, what
it's
did
a
you
mess.
make?
I make an octopus. Something important about me, I love under the sea.
Okay.
When you ask me something like, Edward, you going to compete, what you would do is need to be something under the sea. Need to be an octopus, need to be a fish, need to be something like that. Means my first balloon decor was an octopus with three tentacles.
Okay.
Just three. To me was super hard. Like I use Lincolns because we have Sempertex in Venezuela, and you know how you tie Lincolns all together. Well, I just did three tentacles with 10 Lincolns,
Okay.
and this is so hard. But now when I see the picture, it's super cute.
Oh, that's awesome. And then did you just quickly start doing it for hire after that?
Yes, a lot of people start calling me. A lot
Okay.
of people start calling me. And it's something important that maybe don't happen now. I feel like balloon decor now or have a balloon business now is a little bit harder that before.
Okay.
Before balloons was something like exclusive. I always say like it's exclusive, like you selling a little bit, you selling here now, but before you was like, oh my God, he's doing balloons. Or
Yeah.
in Caracas, I'm the capital, from the capital in Venezuela, and was like five people doing balloons. Means we have a complete city just for five people, you make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pay my college, and my mom, she want me to go to the college. She want me to graduate and everything. And I did a degree in finance,
Okay.
nothing to do with balloons, but I enjoy it. I love it. And I remember my teachers always was like, you're working with balloons because people start following me on Facebook. And
Okay.
people were so serious with a tie and a suit every day. And I was in jean and tennis shoes. And people, you're working with balloons? And I say, yes. Means in 2014, I decide I come to US. And I need to be honest, I'm super excited for two things. Number one, like I came to US. I that was a hard decision, but was good.
Yeah.
Because I'm super excited. Like now, this is my first election. Like I can vote.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because I got the citizenship last year, and I know we don't talking about politician, but I'm excited, because
Yeah.
it's like I can close my chapter. I can just say like, oh my God, I'm a citizen now. It's like you can breathe.
No,
But
that's a huge accomplishment.
yes, in 2014 when I came here was hard because you need to learn English. You can decide when you move to other country if you speak your language or you try to adapt yourself to the culture like you're moving from.
Hmm.
Anyway, and I started learning English. I have mistakes all the time. Like something I remember was like I have hungry. I
Okay.
knew I need to eat, but I have hungry because to me have okay, I got it. And
Yes.
I have hungry. And one time somebody said, "Why you say I have hungry?" And I have hungry. No, it's I'm hungry. I've been learning. I think I pay a school like English school to move here, but you learn more talking in the street
Yeah.
because the teachers every day, and I don't know if a lot of people want to learn Spanish. I believe that you don't learn in a classroom. You
Yeah.
learn when you talk to other people. And to me, US is amazing experience because 2017, 2015, I competed for Designer of the Year.
Okay.
I went to Vegas. I was really bad in San Francisco. I don't have any money. I was just working like 12, 13 hours a day just to pay my rent.
And what were you doing? Were you doing balloons at that point, or that was just on
No,
the side, or
I hope nobody get offended for what I would say, but some people, when I moved to US, um, they play a lot with me. It's like,
hmm.
oh, you can work with me, but I don't pay you. Like you can
Oh,
live with tips. You
balloon
can
people?
live with, yes. I have a hard
Oh,
time. I think this is the first time I say that, but
that's shady.
San Francisco in 2014 was hard. I started working with two different companies that they are really big in San Francisco, and they didn't pay me. They want me to leave just with tips. They want me to leave just with them because that way I don't need to pay rent. And I
Yeah.
was, yeah, but I need a salary because in the same time I need to pay $8,000 to a lawyer and
Yeah.
to stay here. And sadly, I mean, one day I was discovered. Well, it's not sadly, that was the happy part. I was discovered for Univision. That is a channel. I think it's in Miami, but they have one channel in LA.
Okay.
And they want do like a reporter, like a news about immigrant guy. He doing his American dream through balloons.
Okay.
And I think that helped me. That's
Yeah.
doing YouTube. And that helped me a lot because that a big balloon distributor called me in San Francisco. Is no, they're closed. And they call me, you want to work for us? And I start working with them. That was the good time. I think
Yeah.
in 2014, 15, I was like me going to Vegas and competing for Designer of the Year. And I needed to take a decision between if I pay my rent or going to Vegas to the convention was that doesn't exist anymore. It was Amanda Armstrong
Okay.
convention. She had for years West Coast convention or balloon convention was something like that in
Sure.
Vegas. It was huge. And I went there in 2015. I competed and I contact with Qualitex. That was one of the first time that I saw somebody from Qualitex and they, oh, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. So you
I
were
didn't
already like
know.
you were like
I,
amazing by then. You weren't
I
still making three-legged octopuses.
no, the bad thing was like I didn't know how to communicate. I
Okay.
didn't know was Susan Fleming, and I always mention her because to me, Susan, she helped me in too many ways when
Hmm.
I was in that time of my life. And Susan, who are you? And I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to say, uh, I need a job. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to express myself. But then I won Design of the Year there.
And that was
And
a flow. So that was St. Louis. Was that the same year?
no, that was in 2015 in Vegas.
Oh, okay. They had their own competition.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And then in 2017, I went to San Luis.
Okay.
And I think I met you was in 2018
Hmm.
when you won Design of the Year. I
Well,
mean,
it was the year after you
yes,
because my goal was
2018.
just to compete. And I was just like, and then I saw yours and Dante's, and I was like, okay, this is,
No,
I'm gonna get blown out of the
2017
water.
was hard. I remember in 2018, because after you competed, and or you won Design of the Year, you have to teach the following year.
Right.
And I remember I came outside and I saw you making your centerpiece with flowers. And I remember listen, I literally remember like yesterday was a bubble or a round clear balloon on top. Oh no, was an orb, sorry.
Yeah.
Was an orb with with flowers coming down. And I was, who is she? I didn't know who
That's so
who you
funny.
was. And it was, oh, Sarah Meyer. And I came, what? I didn't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. See, I've been doing good. I've been doing good. And by the way, I think every single your designs was amazing.
Thank
Was really
you.
good. I feel like something like people don't know. If you wanna put your name out there, you have to compete.
I would agree.
You don't compete with other people. You compete with you challenge yourself.
100%. It's like
And
a
you challenge.
deadline. It's a
Yes.
deadline, then you have to do it. And it's hard. And it's one of the only times you get to make whatever you want to make. Every
Yes.
other time you're kind of doing what your client wants or what will sell. But this is just like, no, this is what I want to make. I'm glad I competed.
Yes.
But it was, I mean, it was nothing compared to what you guys did. You did large sculpture too. I didn't have to do the
Yes,
large
I
sculpture,
in
and yours was amazing.
2017, I like Dante. I really know him like, I don't know, like 12 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he will compete. It's too many people. I think that's the stress when you're getting down the first day. And the first competition, I think, was arches.
Hmm.
And everybody saw me. It's like, what? Why Edward is here? And I didn't know people knew me. I didn't
Yeah.
know, but there because I was like trying to do my stuff in San Francisco and be crazy and creative and just I was looking for somebody like a company, a manufacturer, hire me. That's what I was working. When you work, you never stop
Yeah.
thinking, oh yes, everybody know me. No. You keep working. And when I went down, everybody, oh my God, you're competing. And I was like, so like, oh yes, you too. Okay, good luck. And everybody like, oh my God, Edward is competing. I didn't know Dante was competing. When I saw him, and he can talk to you about this, I start crying. In one point, I cry and I say, Dante, I'm so sorry. And he say, why? And because I will win. I mean, and I was crying because I need to compete, and he was the other person, and I was so, you know what happened, Sarah? It's not about Dante or the
Amazing because
people.
I will win.
I was so ready for that. You know, when you prep yourself so good that I was like, I've been prepping this for the last 6 months.
Yeah. I
Actually, I prep everything like I don't need help. I don't want help. I know what to do.
Yep.
And thank you for everybody that helped me because in the last minute, always people like, do you need help? And you, yes. Do you need help? Yes. I remember something specific about distortion when I'm practice the designs or something, take me time. But when I'm competing, is so I'm surprised like how quick I can do the distortions.
Hmm.
Back there in 2017, Chrome or Reflex, they wasn't in the market. What I did was because I wanna do some rocks. And I did a distortion and I spray paint in gold every single balloon. And today I'm like, oh my God, I can use too many balloons latex that we have now with those colors, but back there we don't have it.
Right.
Um, I'm so glad I compete. I challenge myself, and I always want to like, oh, I want to compete again. But it's not about the title. Maybe people think like, oh, listen. Some people ask me constantly, how you deal or manage the ego. And it's to me, it's a mean question to say because I feel like I don't have any ego. And believe me, I work every day just because I don't want to sleep in the street. In 2014, when I came here, 2015, I decided to be here. And I slept 3 days on the street because I don't
Oh,
have any money. And I cried and was
yeah.
between, okay, Edward, you want to go back to Venezuela or you want to sacrifice something else and stay here? And I decided to be here and I start selling flowers in the street. And the police always move me. The police always, oh, you can't be here. You need a permit to stay,
Yeah.
to sell something on the street. And I was like, I need money to eat. Listen, it was really hard. After I promised myself I can do whatever is possible to don't sleep in the street anymore. Was 3 nights. San Francisco is really cold, and I doing good. That's why I working, but I never stop working. That's why when people ask me those kind of questions, I really believe, I don't know, the balloon industry, you don't have time to deal with the ego.
Mm-hmm.
I met amazing people, amazing in this new generation and people like been for years on the balloon industry. I mean, I love Tommy, Scott. Like I feel like they are inspiration for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And and sometimes I don't talk too much with a lot of people like you, Sarah, because I always feel like I'm limited. It's kind of hard. Like, okay, I don't know how to start the conversation. I
Yeah.
don't know how to uh, where I going. But when I see people, oh, okay, let's hang out all together here.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
try, I try to be nice because I love a lot of people, and you doing a good thing in the industry, and I like to somebody recognize that to you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
My gosh. Oh my gosh, your story. I have so many things to ask about or
it's
comment
so
on.
many things.
You're such an inspiration. Um, but I want to loop back to what you said about preparing to compete. Because I think that's something people don't talk about very often.
Mhm.
I feel like there's almost like a coolness factor in
Mhm.
thinking like, oh, I don't really care. I don't, I prepared a lot. Like I practiced things. I had everything like memorized. I had an order, and I feel like that makes me kind of dorky that I went in and I was just no, I was there to play to win. And you are the same way. I think sometimes people think like, oh, just like I'm not gonna whatever happens, happens, and I don't care. I was like, no, I'm going to bring it.
Yes, yes,
So I
yes.
like that you said you were
But
also
that's the
prepped.
difference. That's the difference. I don't think when you compete in any balloon convention need to be to enjoy the competition. You need to bring the best of yourself. I
Hmm.
remember a flow this year when I was working because I was teaching, but when I walk on the highway, I saw some competition. Like just I look it up, and those people came to win. I mean, you can see it when somebody prep the
Yeah.
every single details coming from your house, literally.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I don't know how many fantasy flowers I prep in my house. And I flew from San Francisco in 2017, from San Francisco to San Luis with my bag, just with fantasy flowers. I mean, those kind of things. If somebody's watching me right now, I just wanna invite you to. You have to compete, and you
Yeah.
have to enjoy the process, and you have to, you maybe prep a team. Don't be so selfish like me. No, just
Me
kidding.
too. No, I did mine alone too because I was like, I don't need your help. But it was because I was so like, I was like, I'm not good at managing people, so that's gonna actually slow me down because I'm too nice. I'm too like, oh, okay, if you want to do it that way, you can. Even though in my head I was like, no, I know exactly how I want it.
And that happened too when, okay, if you have a business, right, and you have your team work, they know you. They
Right.
actually they know when you're serious, they don't talk to you. But that teamwork at least know how to inflate the balloons, how to tie the balloons. I mean, it will be consistent.
Hmm.
But when somebody else like you don't know, come to help you, and maybe you try to be nice, oh yes, it's great. But that then when that person leave, you will do it again.
Right.
And
Right.
it's like, okay, see, I did it twice for that reason. I can do it myself. Or when you have to explain to somebody else and you don't have more time, means why I need to explain you? I prefer doing myself. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard. Some people think like I like to work by myself. Yes, but in balloon convention, some people that I know, can you come to help me? And I don't need to explain anything. I mean, that's why you know, or you figured it out who can help you or who can work with you.
Yeah.
And that will be easier. That
Yeah,
will be easier.
absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's take our first break. And then I want to hear about what happened after St. Louis because you got a big job opportunity.
Yes.
You've heard me talk about Havin A Party Wholesale in almost every episode of the podcast for all of your balloon purchasing needs. But today I wanted to highlight an upcoming event called Twist Fest, which will be hosted by Havin A Party. This in-person event will take place on Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 in Brooklyn, New York. And you can sign up for just $50 to learn from your favorite balloon artists and meet the manufacturers, including Sempertex, Tuftex, Jamar, Calisan, Brookloon, and Megashine. Registration is open now and spots are limited, so head to havinaparty.com to register for Twist Fest. All right, welcome back. So, Designer of the Year, spoiler alert, you won. You won like everything. Well, it was back and forth. You and Dante. It was definitely I was there as a spectator.
I didn't expecting one designer of the year because it was like Dante Edward. Dante
Yes, it was split. Yeah.
was Dante Edward, and he was so I will win. He was so, and I was, I need to win because actually when I cry, I told him I came here because I need to figure it out my stay in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Because in 2015 when I won, I was like, okay, I need a company hire me. I
Yes.
knew that will help me to that step. But that never happened in 2015, means 2017. I needed any manufacturer. That was my focal point. Any manufacturer, I want to work for a manufacturer. Well, after I won, like 3 days later, I received a letter in my mail that I opened it and was Maxine Burton. I literally, and I'm always honest about this. Remember, guys, I'm not from here. I know I don't have any accent, but I'm not from here. I didn't know like what was Burton and Burton.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about this company. I didn't know the owners or anything. I received a letter like congratulations for to won Design of the Year. I can wait to meet you. I want to invite you to Balloon University.
Okay.
Balloon University is one Burton convention, balloon convention every 5 years. And I was like, who is this lady? What I did, like for sure, guys, you do the same. I run to Facebook, I
Yeah.
open Facebook and I type the name to look for the face. And I saw the Maxine Burton face, but I didn't know how to send a letter here in US, nothing, I know. And I just write in Facebook. I was like, okay, hi Maxine, thank you for the letter. My name is Edward. Please don't call me. This is my phone number, but don't call me because I don't speak English. But if you're writing me, I can use the translator and everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And she laughed about what I say, and she said, "Oh, let me call you." And I was like, "I'm literally writing there. Don't call me."
You're like, I cannot speak
Anyway,
English.
that was, I think, the most weird conversation. Yes, no, hey, 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 yes, ha, ha, ha. I don't know what she said to me, but one of the things was like, okay, I want to meet you. You want to come here? And I look it up in my translator and was like, you want to come to Georgia and visit the building? And I replied, I don't have money because just think about it. It was $700 from San
Yeah.
Francisco to Georgia. I was just working 13 hours just to pay my rent in San Francisco. I was like, I don't have the money. And she replied, I don't ask you for money. I'm just asking if you want to come here. I flew and that was a mess. I mean, after I flew here, I met with her. She knew everything about me because back there I was kind of working with Qualitex,
Hmm.
and means Burton was the biggest Qualitex distributor,
Hmm.
and Maxine called Qualitex to, okay, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, you work with him. I mean, you trust him. Means when I flew here, I came and she knew everything about me.
That's
And
amazing.
yes, and she gave me just 3 days to move from San Francisco to here, to Georgia. I mean, back to
Wait,
San
hold on.
Francisco.
Wait, pause. You went from getting
Yes,
a letter and invited to
to Georgia. And I flew
university,
here.
but then when did you move there?
Okay, I came here like a Tuesday.
Okay.
And she said, what you doing in San Francisco? And I was, well, I work in this. Oh, you want to work part-time for me? And I said, no. She said, I know it was a surprise because
Yeah.
I thought you don't want to work. And I said, no, because I need a full-time job.
Yeah.
And she said, well, going back to San Francisco, pack everything and come back. Everything happened in 3 days.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I flew to San Francisco and I didn't know I didn't have too many things because the place that I rented, that place came with a bed. And she gave me like a number, like a FedEx number, like they do everything for you. Like
That's
they
incredible.
go to your house and everything was packed, but they pick it up everything and just they and 3 days later I flew here back to Georgia and mostly the staff arrived here the next day. And all the adventures started Burton. I didn't know what to do. And it's something like I always say, after my first show at Burton, I quit. That is all their secrets. See, just secrets today with Sarah. Welcome to Secrets with
Secrets with
Oprah
Sarah.
and
That's the
Sarah.
after show.
After the show, I quit because, first of all, my English wasn't good
Hmm.
enough, and people was so I work for supermarkets. What I do is teaching the supermarkets
Okay.
what to display, how to inflate a balloon. It's not what you see in my social media or what I do in
Yeah.
my balloon decor. It's something simple. I mean, for decorators, it's like there's the right way to inflate the orbs and that kind of thing. And well, I flew after I moved here. The follow week, I flew to Phoenix, and I was like 300 people just sitting there, just waiting. And I look it up the like the stage, and they have like Edward Munoz. And I was like, oh my God, those 300 people is waiting for me, but I didn't know anybody. See, I feel like something, and don't take me wrong, I feel that this in general, in any kind of job, sometimes we need a little bit more directions. In my case, my case, I know about balloons,
Hmm.
but I needed a little bit more time to understand what was the job. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's my fault to don't ask.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember anything about what I did in that
And
state.
who were the 300 people? Were they balloon people or were they the grocery store people?
It's a grocery store
Okay.
people. And everybody was, amazing. I don't remember.
Oh.
Just I remember I came out the stage and I flew back to Georgia and I quit.
Oh.
And I can't do this. I don't speak English. People can understand me. I think, was amazing time because I realized like I can do better. And
Hmm.
the process at Burton was backward. Like I knew how to do a balloon column. I knew how to do an arch. But what I learned is how to do the basics. I
Mm.
don't know if a lot of people have those problems, but I knew how to do the complicated stuff, but I didn't know how to do the basics.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
I learned how to explain people how to do the basics. And that's why I always say it's nothing better than the basic classes, or nothing better like the those beginners
Yeah.
101. I mean, those classes you have to go. Doesn't matter if you have 20 years in the balloon industry. In those classes, you learn a lot. Everybody work in different ways. And it's like I say, I mean, I learn myself, like I teach myself how to inflate, how to explain when to stop, how do you explain how to use the hand pump and just count one, two,
Yeah.
three, four? Like each move is one pump. I mean, I learned. And
Yeah.
then I was like, you know what? This supermarket never will invite me. Well, I'm the only person. This is a big division of the grocery store, and I'm the only person that repeat. This is my year number 7. I
Oh,
just
wow.
came back, and they love me. They love me, but it was a challenge. 7 years ago was a challenge.
So then how long did it take you to learn English? Like you were in it and you had no choice. I'm assuming after you
Like,
quit,
yes, I don't
you
have.
rehired.
I think what you listen right now, maybe it's the last 5, 6 years,
Okay.
is when I really understood how connect sentence. Because when I start speaking a little bit better, I always stop to say
Yeah.
something else. Hi, how are you? Stop. Oh, fine. stop. And I always was like overthinking, but now
Yeah.
it's like I don't need to translate. I start crying the first time I was driving my car and I put the radio and I understood what they was
Sure,
talking.
sure.
And I was crying. I was, in the beginning, you are confused. In the beginning,
Yeah.
you're like, they speaking Spanish? In the beginning, you are confused because you are like, oh, I understand, but maybe. But now it's like I go to the cinema and I enjoy watch a movie and just like, yes, let me,
That's really cool.
I challenge myself, like if I stay in US, I need to speak English. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad, Sarah, because in the balloon industry, mostly people speak English.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly the people like I want to know, like you. It's too many people speak English.
Yeah.
Means
Well, I
you
feel like
have
so many
to-
people speak Spanish. I'm desperate to learn Spanish. I did Duolingo for like a year, but like you said, if you're not using it in a conversation, it's just like vocabulary. You just like know
exactly,
certain words, but not how to connect them.
exactly.
Um, oh, I would love to learn Spanish, but I mean, that's so amazing. And now you can do both. So I think that makes you even
Yes,
more appealing, obviously.
yes,
So are
yes.
you still at Burton and Burton and are you still
Yes,
teaching
I
the grocery
still
stores?
at Burton. I do mostly the social media for Burton. I
Okay.
mean, all the balloons, designs. I do a lot of stuff. Plus, I keep teaching the grocery stores. Sometimes I can't travel. What I do is just make videos and send to any manager, and that manager just reproduce
Okay.
in different stores. Plus, I do my own social media in my
Right.
house.
Like you still have your own business. It's not, I wouldn't, well, do you do balloon work for hire? Like, are you running a
Yes,
business like
yes,
that
yes.
too?
I mean, but what happened now is I have somebody, is all the company here in Atlanta. Like when I'm not here and somebody call me, I need to give her the job.
Okay.
And something important now, and don't hate me for this, but I try just to get just a big jobs
Okay.
because I try just like the like birthday parties and those kind of things like arches. To me personally, I don't selling too good those because it's too many people around me doing the same.
Ah, gotcha.
And what I try to do is just a big job because I know how to change the game,
Yeah.
how to apply other crazy things. Some people, oh, Heather, your work is beautiful, but I don't sell that. Well, I sell it. I mean,
Yeah.
is like that's a way like companies. Mostly what I do it for companies, for corporate,
So are you
because
doing weekends? Like you're working a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job and then you're doing balloons on the weekends?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And you know what? Let me tell you, maybe I'm wrong, but if in my Instagram, a lot of people told me or writing me about, hey, Edward, I don't selling, I don't making money with balloons. I feel like on the beginning, when you decide have a balloon business, on the beginning it's a hobby. On the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, you have to have a side job because you need to make extra money. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that the mistake that too many balloon artists we have is like we make a balloon arch and we don't have a salary. We just take the same money like come to buy the balloons, buy the equipment, and I buy the groceries, whatever I
Mm-hmm.
need for my house. It's not like, okay, for this arch, my salary is $100. I don't know. I feel like it's too many mistakes.
Right.
That we do it, a lot of people do, and it's bad.
Yeah, this is the first year that I actually set up payroll, which is kind of weird because I'm my only employee, but I don't know, it was a tax
Yes,
thing that made sense. But because that's kind of on auto pay, I'm like paying myself a consistent amount every single week. Even if I didn't have any jobs that week, or even if I had like a $10,000
it's
job,
fine.
I'm not
It's fine.
necessarily paying myself extra. It's just that consistency. It's
Yes.
actually been very nice and feels like a real, like quote unquote, like a real job for the first time, just because it's like, well, I make what I make.
Mhm,
And I think it's good. It doesn't, I don't know. Sometimes I get greedy, not even greedy, but like I overextend myself because I like
mhm,
get excited about the money.
mhm.
But I think it's given me permission to relax a little bit and not take every single job and burn myself out because it's like, I'm going to make what I make. Like I set my own salary and that's what I'm going to make. And there's enough money in that account. So I don't need to, miss my kid's birthday party to do this last minute
Exactly.
delivery.
But at least you have something,
Right.
and that's amazing. Some people, when you don't have a salary, That's hard. That's why I find a company here in Atlanta, like I can give to her. She's amazing every single birthday party. But when I have a big job, she coming to help me. And here in Atlanta is a lot. The market is really big.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big market. People don't like one balloon. People want 1,000 balloons. Means it's still a little bit for everybody, but you have the market too. That a lot of people is giving for free balloons. Like people is
Yeah.
doing arches for free. Like from my house, one morning, one Saturday, I was lazy and I woke up like at 9 a.m. And when I opened my window and I saw a balloon arch in the house and from my house, and I was like, what is this? And I just tried to be discreet, but it wasn't true. I just opened my door to see who did the balloon arch. And my neighbor did the balloon arch. I think
Yeah.
right now a lot of people's doing the stuff, and it's like I say, before balloons was a little bit more exclusive before.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody had balloons in the parties before. I feel like that was 2020 with the COVID, with the pandemic, was a before and after. And
Yeah.
it's no wrong to have a balloon business. Balloons isn't the best moment. You see balloons everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember, and I always put this like a sample when the Kardashians, they start posting balloons and every single color of they posted was out the market. I
Mm.
remember they did like a baby shower in a like latte and browns
Oh
and
yeah, the
green
bear one.
and the bear, and that was everywhere, and everybody wanna replicate the same colors. It means they some people help the market to be the balloons like everywhere, and that's amazing, but some people give it for cheap. I have people around me like the balloon arch is $100.
Yeah.
To me, I my cost is like, okay, it's 150, 200, 250 my cost to do a balloon arch. And
Yeah.
is I cannot sell him in 250. And for that thing, I just, I'm busy and I let somebody else do the arch. I
Yeah.
feel like that is the thing. Everybody have a balloon business is good, but you need to know how to charge.
Yeah.
You know.
And I like what you said. Instead of trying to beat everybody else at selling balloon arches, you're like, I'm just gonna do the crazy stuff that like they can't even do. Like I'm just gonna wait for those clients. And I feel like I definitely do simpler things, but I get in my own head too. Like you said, your neighbor had a balloon arch, and nowadays you can watch YouTube and you can order exactly what you need. And a DIYer can make a really great garland and a really great arch.
Mhm.
I just delivered this morning to a college reunion, and I did, probably they hired me because it was helium and that's scary, but I did a helium arch, and they had done their own columns and it looked fine. Like they had college kids do them. So I get in my own head like, well, what am I even doing? But I think for me, I focus on like the service side, which is why I don't do a ton of private parties. Like I don't do a lot of birthdays. I do more corporate where like they're not going to DIY it. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like they just want
Mhm.
it done for you. So I feel like, yeah, you need to know your niche. I feel like you are like this next level quality, and I'm maybe like this next level service provider.
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah, I'm not anywhere
And,
doing what
and,
you
and
are.
when you don't do those private parties, um, is you make a little bit more money, when you work for corporate, because they don't like the arch 2 by 2.
Right.
They want something 20 by 20, 30 by
Mm,
30. I mean, last week I did an arch for Kroger and was huge, was too airable. Means I feel like you charge, they pay you, and you take your check, and that's it.
yeah.
And then you go and pick it up. In my case, I like to pick it up my airport because it's expensive. But when you go into a birthday party, the birthday party don't finish at 6. They want a little bit more. You need to come back at 8. I think it's complicated.
Yes.
And around me is a lot of balloon business. They can do it, but not everybody know how to do corporate. And actually, people ask me all the time, how can I get corporate? And I feel like, well, you have to work fast.
Yeah.
Because no, they give you 1 hour. They give you 2 hours just to install everything, and you have to finish. But I always organize. Actually, last year, somebody called me, and I love this. That was a challenge. Somebody called me. I've been calling every single company in Atlanta, and nobody know how to do this.
Hmm.
Something for Halloween was, I think the dad, like he have a black
Like the
Um,
Grim Reaper?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And somebody called me and he sent me the picture and it was so tiny. I was like, oh, but this look ugly. I mean, when he sent me, I was like, who did this? And I was like, hey, how are you? Well, the cost and it was $2,000. And I said, this is $2,000 and I make him 12 feet.
Nice.
And
I
he was
remember it. I remember the picture.
and he was like, oh, yes. And I did it. And I make him a house one day. It was my first day doing something like that. And I finished. It was beautiful. And then came fit in my car.
Oh
Was
no.
crazy. And that day was raining. And what I did was just drive from here, like for 1 hour, with my back open. And half the sculpture was outside the car, but was beautiful. Everybody, listen, that guy paid me the $2,000. He was super excited. He was, thank you so much, because that matched with his logo, because I
Okay.
think he sold candles with that picture right there. Listen, I get a lot of corporate, but normally is a lot of people around me don't know how to do a stuff. They
Okay.
don't know how to do a sculpture like an airplane. Oh, they don't know how to do. They know how to do a spiral column, but a lot of people is just organic.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm teach or I have friends, we're talking about it, I always say it's nothing wrong with the organic, but because around me everybody do organic and I want to do something different. Normally what I do is my arches, I do half and half.
Oh,
Half organic and half classic decor. That half organic is because you always need to be trending. What is trending out there? I cannot be just, I using just classic decor. No, I think you need to be trending. Organic is trending, but
hmm.
you have to offer something else to the customer. When I do organic, I always try to attach like a pretty foil balloon, or maybe
Yeah.
I paint a balloon, and I know that is too like extra. People is like, oh my God, that's too much. Yeah, but when you have a lot of competition around you, you have to do something to make your business unique,
Yeah.
and that helped me a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
that helped me.
Wow, wow. Okay, let's take another break. And then I want to get into a couple of important milestones. You mentioned becoming a US citizen. I just want to celebrate and talk about that. And I have another thing I want to ask you about too. So stay tuned. If you're looking to grow your balloon business through sales and marketing, Balloon Suite is the high-tech toolkit designed just for you. Let's chat with Jeff Kelly, owner of Balloon Suite, to answer one of your sales and marketing questions. All right, Jeff, today we have a question from Balloon Bash LLC, and she wants to know ways to advertise besides Facebook Marketplace or social media.
I think one of the absolute best things you can do as an owner with your time, you have limited time, no matter where you are on your business journey. The most effective use of your time is meeting people who will refer clients to you over and over and over. Oh my gosh, Jeff, what does that mean? If I'm in the balloon decor industry, I want to meet wedding event planners. If I'm in the balloon decor industry, I want to meet the catering manager at venues. If I'm in the balloon decor industry, I want to meet the catering companies that are already or also going to the same events where I would love to have balloon decor. And the reason I would love to meet these people and build a relationship with them is because they interact with my exact set of clients every day. And they're going to, if they know about me and they believe in my business and trust my business, they can be referring my business every single day for me. Those are the most valuable relationships to build. And as a small business owner, I believe that this is the most valuable use of your time to generate more sales.
Very nice. Thanks so much. Balloon Suite helps boost your sales, solve everyday problems, and keeps you on track to reach your goals. Check out the link to Balloon Suite in the show notes wherever you're listening, or head right to balloonsuite.com. All right, welcome back. So you have been in the US for how long now?
13 years.
13 years. Gosh, I can't believe it's been that long. I remember you competing at Float. That's crazy. So you have since become a citizen. And then another huge milestone that you posted on Facebook was that you bought a house.
Yes.
And those
Well,
things were both significant, right?
right now I'm living in my second house. I mean,
Whoa,
okay,
bougie.
what happened, see, what happened, I mean, 2020 was amazing for me.
Yeah.
That year, I never will make, and I never talk about this, but remember, we are with Secrets with Edward and Sarah. Okay. I make $80,000 into 2020. and just from a house, right? When everybody was so scared because we would die, I start deliver balloon bouquets, and I just leave it outside the houses.
Uh-huh.
That was number one. And thank God I have a huge helium tank in my house that helped me a lot.
Okay.
And I start mix a little bit 60-40, like 60% helium and 40% air, because
Yeah.
that way it can last, my helium tank lasts longer. I did online classes, and when I checked my bank account, I mean, I have $80,000 from my house, and I was okay. Let's back it up a little bit. What you need to do, and I bought my house. I knew like I need to do an investment with
Yeah.
that, and I bought my house. And to me, I walk. The person showed me like 3 houses, and I hate it because balloons need a space.
Yeah.
Don't because I'm alone. I want a small house. No, I'm not like that. He showed me small houses, and I was like, oh, no, I want something bigger. When he opened that house, I was like, this is my house. It was huge,
Nice.
and I walk inside, and I would put balloons here or something. Well, I was there 3 years, and then I was, let me make money with this house,
Okay.
and I would sell this house, and I take that money, I paid off my car to buy other house. I
Nice.
did it that way 3 years later. It was last year. I sold my house last year, and I sold the house. I went to the interview for the citizenship, and like 2 weeks 2 weeks later, I bought this house, and now I'm in a new house. But I paid off my car. That
That's
was my
amazing.
plan. That
That's
was my
amazing. I
plan.
did something very similar. We sold our house for more than we bought it for, and I
Yeah.
bought a van. So I took all that extra money. I bought a van, and we were in a house that now has a spot for my balloons. So it was like this double upgrade that
Yes.
like, yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that. I think
I
that's cool.
always knew like people do business like that. But because I'm alone, I don't have that person like, okay, Edward, do this. Nobody, I try don't talk my stuff with other people.
Yeah.
I try just to be discreet. What people know about me is about balloons.
Hmm.
People like, oh, Edward, what you did? Balloons. And people, oh, you need to do something else. Anyway, that's why I don't talk in my stuff until I post it. Like I saw my house. Actually, when I post that picture, I was already in my new house.
Oh, okay.
Like I always went like, okay, it's time. I try to go ahead, like I record the stuff and then I post it. That way nothing happened. I don't have any bad decisions to make because I already happened it.
Sure.
And but I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I think a lot of balloon people do that. They take their balloon money and then they do other sorts of investments or like buying and selling homes. And then that's how they make their like retirement money, their big money. And I think that's really smart. I think it's hard to get super rich doing balloons. But if you're saving and if you're investing and if you're, putting stuff into accounts or whatever, like I think that's the way that you hopefully retire comfortably.
Mhm.
That's my plan.
No,
I'm not sure.
no, that's true. I feel like not everything can be just in one packet.
Hmm.
You need to do smart decisions. A lot of people like, oh, I want to have a business, like a store, like a balloon store. I'm nobody to say if that is a good or bad decision, but in my opinion, I will prefer my first years working from home, and I can save that rent, or
Hmm.
maybe the same money that I will pay for a place, I will pay my house. I mean, it's play a little bit with those things because balloons is take a lot of sacrifice. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't see your family all the time, but maybe if you're working from home, you see your family all the time. I mean, you know better than anybody.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is. It is a struggle. I actually just posted a poll on Instagram and it made me kind of sad because I was curious what people's working situations were. Like, are you working at a day job and you're doing balloons on the side, or are you full-time balloons? And then there was one other, and then the last one was like full-time balloons, but I'm miserable. And like a lot of people checked that box. Like, I think it's hard. It's like the goal is to be full-time balloons, and then I think sometimes we get there but we've like built ourselves this little balloon prison that we like we're
Even
miserable.
I always try to think about, okay, what happened if I'm like a full-time balloon artist right now? I think I will be miserable because
Yeah.
if I'm thinking, it's just a lot of people around me have balloon business, And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that. Maybe I need to move from to other city. That can be different.
Yeah.
But I think here in Atlanta, I don't know in other states, but the party planners, they have everything.
Hmm.
Have everything means if you want to make money with balloons, you have to reach or work with the party planners.
Okay.
And I think that's the way that people is making money here in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, like I can think of like 4 people that live in Atlanta and I don't know that many people doing balloons. I mean, I know a lot, but like 4 from one city. And New Jersey. I feel like everybody lives in New Jersey who
Yes.
does balloons. So competition
I
is
don't know
is
what
hard.
is the reason, but I
Yeah,
don't know how people survive. It's like I was
I
talking to
know.
my mom. I talking to my mom every day. I didn't see my mother in 13 years. That's the sad part because I supposed to go this year. That's why I went to teach in Colombia. When
Okay.
I accept the contract with Sempertex, I was okay. Let me go to Colombia to teach, and then I fly from Colombia to Venezuela. That was my plan.
Right.
But sadly, the situation in Venezuela is really bad. Like I decide, you know what? I don't think it's the time to go there because
Yeah.
maybe if I get in, I can get out. And
Yeah.
I think I was like, no. And my mother cried, but now she's happy again.
Hmm.
But everybody is like in Mexico I have a lot of Mexican friends in my social media, and I feel like every day is a different class.
Hmm.
Like every day is a different balloon class. And I'm like, wait a minute, how people survive, how people pay for the class. I mean,
Yeah.
it's exactly like happen in New Jersey. Like you see a lot of people do arches and decor, and okay, it's a lot of business, it's a lot of money over there. I mean, I've been watching that.
Yeah. And okay, real quick about your mom. So you still have not gone back to Venezuela. I remember we talked about this in New
No,
York because
in 13 years.
I am embarrassed to say I'm like this small-minded American that I was like, wait, you can't just like fly to Venezuela? Like I had no idea. And you were like, no, you have to like fly to another country that flies to Venezuela and then go. And at the
Yes.
time you were like, you didn't have your citizenship yet. You were like, it's not that easy. You can't just like
Yeah.
go wherever. And then obviously politically, it's just very bad there right now. Is your mom safe? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. She's
Okay.
okay. I try to right now. I try to see if I can see her next year.
Mm-hmm.
But she don't have a passport. We don't have an embassy. Means if I want to I need to go to Venezuela if I wanna see her, or she need to fly to other country. But I
Okay.
don't know if she can get outside. But I can request her to come here directly because we don't have an embassy in Venezuela. That's why it's
Interesting.
oh my God, it's so crazy. And I know in New York, I mean, yes, we thought it was next to me, but it was so hard to talk because it was too many
Oh,
people
I know it was so
with
loud.
conversations, and the food was so good in the restaurant. Like we wanted. I remember I told you like don't eat too much salad because I knew the better place came after the salad.
Yeah. It was this
And
amazing
on the
Italian
beginning, that
place and
happened. That happened. I think in a lot of places. Like, oh my God, can I get that salad? And it's a huge salad. But after the salad, it's more food. But if you eat just salad, you don't have more space.
there were like 5 courses. It was amazing. Have you gone back to Times Square to do the confetti a few more
Last
times?
year,
You went last year?
I went last year. I don't going this year because I will try to do something else. I want to go to the beach,
Okay.
to be honest, and I want to go to the beach, and I want to. I was okay. I went to New York 2 times. It's cold, raining. I
Yeah.
feel like my body needs something else. I don't have vacation all year. I've been saving the vacation to see if I can go to the beach. Maybe Florida in December.
Oh, very cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's take one more break and then I have some fun questions to end on, and we'll wrap up. Before we wrap up this week's episode, I wanted to let you know that the 2025 Bright Balloon Business Planner is now available on Amazon. I created this planner a few years back when I was looking to purchase a planner to set my business goals, and everything I found was way too overwhelming. It included everything from a monthly schedule to your kids' soccer practice schedule to your grocery list. It was way too much. So I created something very simple and straightforward, simply for your business, for setting realistic goals and tracking your important numbers. So if that is something that will help you in your business, like it's helped me, it's available now. You can search on Amazon for the Bright Balloon Business Planner or click the link in the show notes wherever you're listening. I hope it helps. All right, welcome back. Let's wrap up. I could talk to you all day, but let's end on a light note. The first question that I ask every guest is, where's your favorite place to vacation?
Well, let me tell you something that I went to a place like I really want to come back, and is Denver, Colorado. I
Okay.
think is a Edward like before and after, because that was the year I moved to US, and was the World Balloon Convention in Denver. And I went to Denver. I flew from Venezuela to Denver to the convention, and I went to ski. That wasn't successful. I mean, I was on the floor all the time. But you know, I want to come back. And to me, I know it's weird. It's like, it's your favorite place, but you've been just one time. But is that place like is in my mind all the time? Like I need to come back.
Oh, good. Oh, cool. I love that one. Next question is, have you purchased anything recently that is making your life better? It can be balloon related or it can be totally separate.
Well, it's not too recent, but my twin sizer change complete my game, because the twin sizer I know is like is a expensive balloon inflator, but because I like to do classic decor sometimes, I don't have to size my balloons.
Yeah.
Means that save me time. And to me, something like I can actually have two, because it's something that is wrong. Okay, I have the backup.
Yeah.
I have two. I bought two at the same time. Well, one was my birthday gift from Premium
Okay.
Inflate. That was years ago, years ago. And the second, I bought it just in case I need it later.
Yeah. I was spoiled. I bought mine right away. Someone was like, you need one of these. And I was like, oh, that's expensive, but like, okay. And I bought it. And it wasn't until like years later when I saw how people were sizing them manually with like the little box thing. And I was like, wait, you're sizing all of your balloons like this? Like it blew my mind because I never did that. So I was just
And you know,
spoiled.
when I do videos in my Instagram and I use the inflate, people is like, that inflator size your balloons. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, because time is money,
Yeah.
right? In our business. And I feel like if you can save time, it's fine. I know maybe $1,500 that inflator, but you can recover that money in the process. You can make that money.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And last question. What is a tiny piece of business advice you have for our listeners?
Well, believe in yourself. I feel like it's nothing wrong with you if you don't make enough money. Just when you feel like it's a bad day, just you need to keep walking. And when you think it's hard, always thinking about me. Like hard is learn other language and be in other country with no family, and I'm here, and I try
Yeah.
to be happy and positive every day, because life is just one. Means just try to enjoy the process. One day we don't want to work, we want to be lazy, and it's okay. It's nothing wrong to be lazy that day. Just that next day will be better, and you need to keep walking and be positive.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, before we sign off, tell everyone where they can find you. I know you have an Instagram subscriber account where people can learn more about you and classes and all the things. So
Yes.
tell us
Well,
where.
my Instagram is the social media like I'm more active. It's Edward EDWARD underscore MUNOZ Munoz.
Perfect. And is that where all of your classes and everything can be found?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you share so much. We didn't even talk about all of that, how you've basically launched another business being a full-time instructor, but maybe you'll have to come back on, or maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to
Sure.
do a live podcast in person one day.
Anytime I will be here for you, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, this was wonderful. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. Our presenting sponsor is 17 Hats, the CRM I use to cut the chaos and manage my entire balloon business. From the lead capture form on my website to workflows and email templates, Invoicing and grab-and-go garland automated bookings, it's all powered by 17 Hats, the best customer relationship management system for balloon businesses. There's even a 50% off coupon code waiting for you in the show notes wherever you're listening. I'll see you next week in another episode.